Alright, what's up, Tomboy Official? Welcome back to the pod. I went to a new gay bar in LA. It's called Artesia Bar. It's actually in Redondo Beach, so in the South Bay region of LA. It's probably the closest one to me. And next to that, Long Beach has some closer bars. There used to be this one called Velvet Room or something like that. I think it was in Anaheim, or I don't know exactly where it was, but it was somewhere in Orange County. I tried to go there once for one of my birthdays, and one of my friends, I think he drove us I said that I wanted to meet there, and I was hanging out at this, I was still living in San Diego. I was hanging out at this hotel in Orange County and tried to make sure the hotel was near to that bar. I can't remember if I did round one with some friends near that time, and then on a different day though, and then went on another night to the gay bar. I can't remember, but I've only been there once, and it might have been too early, but it was pretty not crowded at all, but there were a lot of people. And then my friend was like, well, I want to go to the Abbey instead, so he basically drove us to and from the Abbey. So I was like, alright, so I don't really know. So I don't know. He used to love driving all the time like that. I don't mind it. It's just, we all know my car situations, and so usually I don't really have anything, at least lately, that I'm gonna be driving like that. But yeah, Artesia Bar, there are definitely things I liked about it. I mean, it's got this kind of discreet vibe to it. It's there, you can see it. It's got a small neon rainbow sign that says open or closed. But other than that, it's pretty blacked out. You can't really look in and see who's there. When I was there, when I went in, there was no door person, but it was really kind of old school. Seemed kind of if it didn't have that neon sign in the window that had some rainbows on it, you would probably never know that it was a gay bar. Let me see. I have a photo of it. I don't remember if they had any pride flags outside. Let me see. Yeah, I think they have a little bit of flags outside. And so I don't know if that's the people next door. I don't know, that might be the people next door, actually. They've got all kinds of American flags. What is this? Let me see. It says Art Finest. That's the place next door, I think. There's a flag between the two places, but the place that says Art Finest, it says high quality furniture, and it's got three types of American flags on the outside, and there's two other flags that are kind of rolled up that I can't really see what they say, but yeah, it's got 3 American flags outside of it. And I guess it's a furniture store or something. But yeah, there's the gay bar right next to it, and yeah, it just says, the sign says open and proud. And it's got a little bit of rainbows on there. But otherwise, that's the only way you would know that it's a gay bar. It's just because of that neon sign. So when it's closed, I wonder if the sign is just completely off, maybe. So if it's closed, I don't know if you would know what it is. And people were coming in when we were leaving. We left early, a little after 9. People were kind of coming in. Um, and so, um, like, it's a small spot, but I liked it. It was chill. Um, Probably one of my, well, I don't know, one of my favorite things. Um, there were some older people there, which is kind of more representative of the area. Um, there is usually kind of an older, kind of boomer crowd in that area. Not everybody is, but like, yeah, you don't get a whole lot of like 20-year-olds moving to Redondo Beach. Like it's not really most people seen in LA, and then if it is, you're probably, you know, pretty well off and working. Like, it's not near a lot of stuff. It's not near a lot of great public transit. It's not like downtown or Hollywood or Long Beach or some other cities where there's like kind of a youthful vibe to it, kind of like Redondo's kind of slower. It's a little upscale, and very expensive. And so unless you really are trying to just move there, I think young professionals live there, but I feel like, people who are maybe first moving out of their folks' houses or whatever probably aren't going to likely prefer to move to Redondo. I'd say they'd probably move to Santa Monica before they'd move to Redondo. But yeah, there is like a little bit of an older, not an older crowd, but there were some older people there, quite a few of them, and that's something I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that it's something that I'm not too used to. Like, usually, I'm used to gay bars with like go-go dancers with their shirts off, like serving the drinks and stuff, not like, elderly people. Um Not that there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the age. Like, I'm not ageist. I'm just saying it's refreshing though. I like there to be older people around, but it was just a little interesting that I hardly ever see old people, like people who are like in their 60s. I hardly ever see old queer people. Like, that's just not something that I commonly see. I don't commonly see old gay people. Um, but definitely I see, around in LA, like even at the beaches, I've seen a lot of like queer couples around, holding hands and like walking around and stuff. I assume they're queer. It's like if I see two dudes or two women just like holding hands, walking around and kissing and stuff, then I'm like, oh, they're probably gay. But I mean, maybe they're not. But yeah, like I've mentioned, like at the beach where I go, and then in my neighborhood, I've seen some ladies walking around that might be lesbians, and um, again, I don't live in the most diverse area of LA, but it's kind of nice to see that like there are people that are out and comfortable, and just on a casual Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever, like this is when I've been seeing people out like that, and so it's kind of refreshing. And I think it's just the climate of things too. So much has been going on, and LA has a huge gay population, and I feel like people are spread all over. West Hollywood is pretty much known for having a large queer population, and then um, there's West Hollywood, and then there's here Long Beach. So, but yeah, like it's common to see queer people around every once in a while, and there's probably more than just what I see, because I wouldn't know. So, um, but yeah, older crowd, the bit of discretion. It seemed to be a friendly environment. People seemed to be walking from like nearby areas. Like I saw someone get dropped off, but I saw some other people walking. So I don't know if maybe they took public transit or got dropped off around the corner or lived in the area and were walking in. But it was friendly. There was some live acoustic music going on in the background when we got there, or a little after we got there. But it was pretty much quiet when we got there. There was no like background music. There's a pool table. There's some outdoor patio where you can just relax and be outside, like kind of out. It's like a covered patio, so there's no real windows. People can't see inside. Like the two windows that are on the outside are kind of like with blacked out curtains, and then the patio is completely, there's just a wall there, and so there's no window, so people can't just peek in and see who's in there. And there's a double door, which is odd because usually you don't usually tend to see that at a lot of bars, at least not ones that I've been to, where there's one front door and then there's a second door where you walk in. Because I think they do that so that you can't really like see in at all. Um, like if the first door is open, people can't just like peek in, or if they, you know, yeah. So, um, and it might be built that way because of the place where it is. That maybe initially it needed some discretion, some levels of discretion added to it. I don't really know. Um, I'm kind of looking something up here. So if I look up this bar, um, let me see if it says how long it's been around. I don't know if it has like a history written on here. It's just home. Let's see. I don't really know. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's gonna show what is actually going on. Let's see. I don't know if I can see it. I don't know. But I guess they've got a dance floor too, because they've got DJs that come at like 10 on Saturdays and Fridays. So, yeah. And people were friendly. So, yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool vibe. And yeah, I don't know too much else of like what to really say. Let me see. But yeah, that's kind of, my take on the place. I liked it. Had an enjoyable time. I might want to check it out again at a later time and see kind of like what the vibe's like when it gets kind of poppin'. But I like when bars are kind of calm sometimes too. Like that is something that's appealing to me. Like I'm not always there for like the party. Like, I kind of like it when bars have like a coffee shop vibe sometimes. Like, like I'm not always there for like a turn up situation. Sometimes I just want to like sit around and catch up with friends, and it's kind of hard to do that sometimes when it's like super pumped up and people are drinking way more, and then things like that. It's a little bit more complicated, but I don't know, man. I had a good experience, and I'll probably be back there. I don't know when, but if they had food, I could see myself going there and actually like getting a meal. But yeah, it's just a small, safe space bar that's got this old school style to it that you can kind of tell has some history. And yeah, so with that, thanks for listening.